Today I want to talk about my SDS Imports Lynx 12 gauge. I want to talk about some things that I've had to do to make this gun reliable and feed every time. Now that I've done some things, it works very well. So the first thing I had to do when I bought this gun is I actually had to remove some material here on this part of the safety lever. So when this came from the factory, the safety lever had a sharp point here, like a square point there, and the bolt carrier group would actually hit that every time it came back, and it would cause the safety to flip up, and it obviously caused feeding issues, cycling issues, that kind of thing. So that was the first thing I had to do. I had to remove some material just so the bolt carrier would actually clear that. So that's the first thing that I did. Second thing that I did was these points here in the mouth of the chamber. This point there and that point there, also this point, were very sharp, and I was actually having rounds catch on these points. So what I ended up doing was actually got a sandpaper bit for my Dremel, and I actually rounded some of these sharp edges here. That was the second thing I did, and I did it gradually also, because you don't want to take a lot of material off of these. I don't know what you call them, but the mouth of the chamber here. This point especially, right there, if you can see that, was causing issues, and this point here, I just rounded right there. So that seemed to help a lot, right to start out with. The third thing I did, I removed the hammer. And I rounded the hammer also with the same bit. I actually used a file and then polished it with a fine sandpaper bit. So that way, when the bolt slides over, it slides much easier. It was pretty abrupt. You could feel the bolt catch and then slide back. Now it's fairly smooth. So I did a little bit of that, a little bit of contour work on the hammer, and then also some contour work here. This part here is what slides over the hammer. So I just rounded out these edges just a little bit. And again, you want to do this gradually. You don't want to just hog out a bunch of material. And a little disclaimer also, I am not a gunsmith. I'm not recommending you do this to your Lynx or any shotgun. Do so at your own risk, okay? But this is what I did. I've had slugs through it and buckshot many times, and no bad things have come from it. So do with that what you will. So some polishing here. Polished this, rounded the corners a little bit. This edge was very sharp. Also, this edge was very sharp and abrupt, so I just rounded it a little bit. Again, that just makes it so when it slides, it just slides nice and smooth. And this probably is the biggest thing I did. The factory springs that came with mine, I can't speak for other shotguns, but the factory springs that came with my Lynx were very weak. When I would rack the bolt and let it go, it would sometimes not push the round into the chamber. So I don't know if they all come like this, or maybe just mine was a one-off, but the springs were not strong enough to feed the rounds reliably, in my opinion. So Carolina Shooter Supply sells a reliability kit for these shotguns. I think it's called a full power recoil spring on their website, and I got 2 of them, and I replaced both of them with stronger springs. I don't know how much stronger they are, but I know that you can definitely tell when you are letting it go home, and I've had no problems with feeding at this time anymore. These springs helped a lot. They also sell a guide rod here. I didn't get that. I think the stock system in this Lynx is alright. It's metal. The one they sell is plastic, so I don't know. Maybe that would be good. But I also got a buffer just because maybe if you don't have your you don't have the right gas setting picked out, this buffer will save your shotgun a little bit of jarring. I think that's pretty much it. I think that's mostly everything that I did to make this gun reliable. One other I would recommend these magazines. These are, I think SGM Tactical also makes metal saiga 12 magazines, but these are C-Spec, CSSPECS, and this is the 11 round magazine, I believe. In my opinion, these are the best magazines that I have found. They were $50 some when I bought them, and very much worth the money. I hate the plastic one that comes with this gun. It works well. I just don't like plastic magazines. This is a great magazine. I had to do a little bit of filing to get the mag catch to catch it, but after a little bit of fitting, as with most AKs is required, it runs very well. That's pretty much it. Hope this helps you guys a little bit. There weren't many videos for me when I was trying to figure this out, because I was having some feeding issues, cycling issues. But that's what I did to make this Lynx very reliable. I've had almost no failures to feed or anything anymore. It runs very reliably. It runs everything very reliably. Birdshot, buckshot. I have some 3-inch BB shot in here that it seems to like a lot. Slugs, runs 2 3/4 slugs just fine. And then I did polish some surfaces on here, the ears that, and I didn't remove much material. I just polished them up a little bit so they're nice and smooth. One tip I could give you is after you shoot this gun, or any gun for that matter, you can start to see where it's wearing itself in. And if you wanted to polish anything, you could do some light polishing on those surfaces where you see the finish wearing off, because that's actually where metal is rubbing. And then I just polished the rails just to fuzz. But hope this helps you guys out. Good luck, and stay safe.